The president just teased new tariffs on semiconductors, set to drop as soon as next week. The numbers: between 200 and 300%. That's not just tough policy. That's chaos in motion. Washington is trying to look strong, but what we're really seeing is blowback. Every tariff meant to pressure others is instead exposing America's own weak points. And right now, Canada holds the ace. Nearly 27% of America's uranium comes from north of the border. That's not just a trade statistic, it's the backbone of America's energy security and military power. Here's the irony. By cutting off Russian imports, the US made Canadian uranium more indispensable than ever. Ottawa didn't need to play hardball. Washington handed them leverage on a silver platter. This isn't just about uranium either. It's a structural dependence that runs across the energy sector. Power plants, cities, military bases, so much of America's daily life literally runs on Canadian supply. Take electricity. In 2024, Canada sold 35.7 terawatt-hours to the US, while buying only 20.9. That left Canada with a $1 billion surplus and America tied to an energy lifeline it can't afford to lose. And you can't just fix that with politics. Replacing Canadian hydropower would take tens of billions of dollars and more than a decade of construction. You can't slap tariffs on rivers or geography. The timing couldn't be worse. America's demand for electricity is exploding, thanks to data centers, artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, and an electrified lifestyle. We're using more power than we have in decades. And then comes the real pressure point: uranium. In 2023, America's nuclear plants bought £47.2 million. Canada was the single biggest source. Without Canadian supply, nuclear energy and even military readiness would be crippled. Yet instead of building trust, Washington doubled down on confrontation. Tariffs on chips, tariffs on steel, tariffs on cars, all sold as a way to bring factories back home. But those promised factories, they still don't exist. The reality is tariffs hit consumers first. And the pain has been brutal. Energy bills have surged, climbing more than twice the pace of inflation. Nearly 60 utilities are preparing rate hikes in 2025, adding billions in extra costs for American households. Families already stretched thin are being pushed to the breaking point. Small businesses feel it too. Most are paying higher costs because of tariffs. Some raise prices, others cut profits, many can't plan for the future. Protectionism is turning into self-inflicted harm. Even allies are adjusting. The European Union caved, cutting a deal with Washington in exchange for stability. But Canada, they stood firm. No tariff concessions. Just patience. And that patience wasn't passive. Ottawa quietly signed new trade agreements with Europe and Asia, drew investment, and doubled down on domestic industries, while Washington shouted about tariffs. Now Canada is repositioning itself as a global supplier of energy, minerals, and advanced technology. They're investing in steel, autos, and clean power. Exactly the industries America is trying to protect. And while the US is busy picking tariff fights, another crisis has been quietly exploding: tourism. Once one of America's strongest industries, it's now collapsing fast. In just 1 year, the US racked up a $100 billion tourism deficit. International hotel bookings fell over 60%. Canadians, once the top group of foreign visitors, are staying away in massive numbers. Why? A mix of fear, safety concerns, and hostile border policies. Stories of travelers being detained for memes or questioned about politics are spreading worldwide. That paranoia has real costs. Tens of thousands of hotel workers, restaurant staff, and entertainment employees are losing jobs. Cities like Las Vegas, New York, and Miami are watching billions in revenue vanish. Meanwhile, Canada, Mexico, Europe, and Asia are seizing the opportunity. They're rolling out welcome mats, cutting entry barriers, and promoting themselves as friendlier alternatives. The bottom line: Washington's tariff strategy has backfired spectacularly. Instead of protecting America's power, it's weakened it, handing leverage to Canada, opportunities to rivals, and higher bills to its own citizens. And all the while, allies like Canada are turning crisis into opportunity, building a future of independence while the US drowns in its own contradictions. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit subscribe, drop a comment with your take, and share this video with someone who needs to see it. This is the Untold Compass, cutting through the noise so you don't have to.